Good morning and welcome to everyone on this beautiful rainy day. God's washing us clean today. Please stand and join us in our opening song, Holy, Holy Way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me know that love is all around me. Oh, let me know that love is all around me. Oh, let me know that love is all around. Let me know that love is all around. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me learn from all the ways I fall. All the ways I fall. Oh, let me know that love will heal us all. Oh, let me walk each day a little wiser. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me share the good that's overflowing. Oh, let me care for those around the world. Oh, let my steps reveal the path of peace. Reveal the path of peace. Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, 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 let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Good morning again and welcome again. My name is Deborah Covington and it is my pleasure to be the host today. Take a breath for that. What a beautiful song. I love that one. Um, Creative Living Fellowship is an independent religious science church, and we honor all paths that lead to truth. Our deep intention here is to be a community of love, care, and connection that opens hearts, expands consciousness, and transforms lives. Mm. And we do this through the practices and the principles of the science of mind and spirit. The science of mind is a new thought, ancient wisdom teaching that provides us with the tools for living our best possible lives. Our founder, Ernest Holmes, said, "Life is a mirror that will reflect back to the thinker what he thinks into it." And so here's about what you can expect to experience in today's special service. Carrie Sherman is our practitioner of the day, and she is going to bring our evocation. That will be followed by our congregational chant, "The World." I encourage you at that time to really pay attention to the words and feel them from the heart as you sing them. After we do the chant, we will have our musical inspiration, in which we'd love to welcome back one of our favorite friends, Kirsten Plambeck. It's good to have you back, Kirsten. The lyrics to the song of the chant will be on the screen so you can follow along easily. After the chant, we will have our gong master, Reverend Christopher Guru Karam Gallagher. Woo, that's a mouthful. I apologize, Reverend Christopher. He will give us our gong service today. Yes, do it again. Reverend Christopher Guru Karam Gallagher. How's that? Thank you. Thank you. After the gong, there'll be a few moments of silence, and then Reverend, making you a Reverend, Carrie, practitioner Carrie Sherman will bring us our inspirational reading of the day. And now I'd like to invite up Carrie for our evocation.
So close your eyes if that feels comfortable to you, and just settle back in your chair. After our rousing opening, that beautiful song, we let that energy to permeate this space right here and right now. Continue on that beautiful journey of awakening to the truth, awakening to the realization that there is only one life in this universe, one. It is expressing through and as everything. That life is perfect, benevolent, life-affirming. That life is awe-inspiring. That life is the very life that we all are living right now. I speak my word for those gathered here, for those watching online, for those who feel the consciousness of goodness and beauty and health and joy permeating from this room out into the lobby and through our community and beyond. Oneness, wholeness, perfection. Knowing and realizing we are all divine beings, I know and accept the teachings of science of mind, knowing that what we put out comes back to us. And so I know that each one of us is fully aware and conscious of the highest and best thoughts, the most loving presence we bring forth into our experience, but into the experience of everyone with whom we come in contact. That is our purpose, to express the oneness from within and share it with everyone. So I'm so very grateful to be here, to experience this, to feel this love, which I feel in this room, to hear the inspiring words of Reverend Sherry, the beautiful music, the camaraderie, the peace and joy that is palpable. Thank you, Divine Indwelling Presence. Thank you, God. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Divine Love. Call it what you will. There is only one. And that one has said, yes, my beloved, what you've spoken is the truth. And so it is made manifest and done right here and right now. And I trust and know this is right. So I let it be, and I let it go. And so it is. Amen.
is a place of great love for all. The world is a place of great light for all. When all's said and done, we're all from the one. The world is a place of great peace. I am a place of great love for all. I am a place of great light for all. When all's said and done, we're all from the one. Oh, I am a place of great peace. You are a place of great love for all. You are a place of great light for all. When all's said and done, we're all from the one. Oh, you are a place of great peace. We are a place of great love for all. We are a place of great light for all. When all's said and done, we're all from the one. Oh, we are a place of great peace. The world is a place of great peace.
Today's inspirational reading is entitled Architects of the Beloved Community. It's excerpted from Spiritual Liberation by Michael Bernard Beckwith. The beloved community is based on the awareness that we are all one. Architects of the beloved community release a vibration of love wherever they go. In line at the market, on the freeway, at the gym, in the workplace, in the presence of so-called enemies. They reveal the highest love potential of the human spirit. With increasing commitment, let us wrap our awareness around the preciousness of human life and devote our energies to realizing our oneness with our brothers and sisters on the planet. You are never walking alone. You are walking with the infinite, the power and the presence within all that exists. This awareness enables you to move through society as a transforming agent who dares to stand in spiritual integrity, announcing the truth that love is the law of life. There is no separation between our political endeavor, social endeavor, and spiritual endeavor. All is to be governed by the immutable principle that we are indeed one global family, creating the destiny of our planet. Then watch your spark of practice become a wildfire of awakening, a torrent of divine love and compassion that uplifts the world. Every time we express love, every time we give up resentments and animosity, every time we forgive, every time we serve others, every time we share our resources, every time we put others first, we walk the path of the spiritual revolutionary. We don't have to get our act together to become a beneficial presence on the planet. We come just as we are. Don't wait for politicians, pundits, spiritual teachers, and motivational speakers to give you permission. It rests within each of us to begin right within ourselves. When we broadcast love out into the world, then we surely, as the day follows night, we will see that the beloved community breaks out wherever we go.
They build walls nobody can get through. Yeah, it may be hard, but the best thing we could ever do. Bring your brokenness and I'll bring mine. 'Cause love can hurt what feels inside, and mercy's waiting on the other side. If we're honest, don't pretend to be something that you're not. Living life afraid of getting caught. There is freedom found when we lay our secrets down, lay 'em down. So bring your brokenness and I'll bring mine. 'Cause love can heal what hurts inside,
and mercy's waiting on the other side. If we're honest, if we're honest, it would change our lives, it would set us free. It's what we need to be. So bring your brokenness and I'll bring mine, 'cause love can heal what hurts inside, and mercy's waiting on the other side. If we're honest, if we're honest, if we're honest.
Thank you so much. Am I on? Okay. Thank you so much, Kirsten. It's good to have you back. Good to see you. Good morning, everybody, on this wet Sunday morning. Let's all take a breath together. I was coming out of the restroom down there and I saw a sign that said, if you can't breathe, nothing else matters. So let's take a breath. That really, really matters. I'm going to see about standing here rather than using the stool this morning. We'll see how that goes. This is January 15th. This is the day, this is Martin Luther King's birthday, Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday. We celebrated on Monday, but today is the actual birthday for Dr. Martin Luther King. And the reading that we had this morning, Architects of the Beloved Community, I love that. And I use that reading every year and have for years because he always talked of the beloved community, a community in which we recognize that we are all one, in which we recognize that we are brothers and sisters on this planet, even though we don't always live that way. And we don't always act that way. We don't always act like we know that. We are brothers and sisters on this planet, whether you like it or not, whether you want to be or not, because there's only one life. There's only one life. There's only one Father, Mother, God principle. And we are a part of that. We are made in the image and likeness and out of that. And so learning how to be architects, if you will, of the beloved community. I think not only architects, because architects are planning, but being builders of that community also. Being builders of that community and being residents of that community, that beloved community. And so that's what I'm really inviting us to just think about and focus on today and as we go forward into this week. What does the beloved community look like for each one of us? What does the beloved community look like in our lives? What does the beloved community look like in our homes, in our relationships? What does the beloved community feel like? What does it feel like in our lives? And so I'm inviting you to just really think about that. But the theme for the month, I almost said for the week, the theme for the week is the call of authenticity. The call of authenticity. The call of authenticity. And without love, there can be no authenticity. Without love, there can be no authenticity. Being real, being who you are, being yourself, that's what authenticity is all about. Being the same from the core of your being, from the core of your being. And today I'm talking about integrity. Integrity, don't leave home without it. It's like the American Express card. Don't leave home without it, without your integrity. Integrity is the linchpin of authenticity. It's the linchpin of authenticity, because without integrity, what do you have? Without integrity, how do you live? Without integrity, how do you move through the world? Without integrity, integrity coming from the Latin word integer, meaning whole and undivided. Whole and undivided. And anything that is whole and undivided is of the only thing that is, that which is whole and undivided, God. That which is whole and undivided, God. And so I'm inviting you to not leave home without integrity. Integrity showing up as accountability, as honesty, as truthfulness, as forgiveness, as helping others, as service. So many things that integrity can show up as. Integrity informs our decision. Integrity informs how we live our lives. Integrity informs how we are in our relationships with each other. Integrity informs how we move through the world. And so does a lack of integrity. So does a lack of integrity. It informs how we move through the world. And so I'm asking you today to just really start to think about that. Start to think about what integrity means for you. How is integrity showing up in your life? How are you experiencing integrity in your life? How are you living a life of integrity? Or not? Or not? And the beauty of life, as I always say, and as our theme for the year shows us, is that we can begin again if we haven't been living in integrity in some areas of our lives. If there's some things that we've been doing that have been out of integrity, we can begin again. We can begin again, right here and right now, in this moment. The only moment we have is right here and right now. Only place is right here. We think about leaving here, going someplace else, but right now, this is the only moment that is. Now, the only moment that is. And so how are you being in integrity right now, right here, right now in this life? How are you being in integrity or out of integrity? And so I invite you, as you go through the week, as you go through your lives, just looking at every moment, because integrity comes up in the way we deal with each other, in the way that we the way that we think, the way that we speak, the way that we act, the way that we interact, the way that we respond. All of that is informed by integrity. It's informed by our honesty, by our truthfulness, by our openness, by our willingness to take a look at ourselves, our willingness to be self-reflecting, our willingness to look at how we are doing things. You know, one of the things that we sometimes do is get caught up in looking out at other people. Well, maybe you don't, but you know what I mean? Looking out at other people and how they're doing it and how they're not doing it and how they need to change and how they need to do whatever without reflecting on how we're doing things, without reflecting on the fact that they are a reflection of us. They're a reflection of us, which is really scary. Sometimes when we see people who really get on our last nerve and recognize that they're a reflection of us. And I always like to say, well, that's so much worse than I am because that's the only way I can see it is that it's that bad. That's not true. That's not true. It's just a way of not looking at, not owning our mistakes, not owning our shortcomings, not owning the things that we aren't doing to the greatest extent possible that we can do things. And so I invite you today to really take a look at the issue of integrity in every aspect of your life and what that means for you. Where are you not being honest? Where are you not being caring? Where are you not being kind? Where are you you're not keeping your word? Where are you dodging responsibility? Ask yourself those questions. Ask yourself those questions, and then come back into not for a place, not for the purpose of judging yourself, not for the purpose of blaming yourself, not for the purpose of beating up on yourself.
just really for the purpose of changing so that we can open our hearts and open our minds and grow and really become a part of this beloved community. Wherever it is we are architects of a beloved community. Not just on Sunday mornings with these people that we know, not just on Sunday mornings with the people that we know, or not when we go to work, or not when we're at home with family and friends or people who are really close to us, but everywhere we go. Everywhere we go, whatever we do is informed by integrity. It's informed by doing the right thing. And you know, integrity is doing the right thing when nobody's looking. Doing the right thing when nobody knows. Nobody find out. Nobody would really know. That's what integrity is all about. That's what it's really all about. And when you want to know whether or not you are out of integrity with yourself, what is it that makes you cringe? What is it that makes you cringe sometimes? If you're talking to somebody or if you're interacting with somebody and the way you speak to someone or the way that you're thinking about someone, and if it makes you not feel so good inside, if it makes you feel just kind of icky, that's because it's out of integrity. That's because it's out of integrity for you. But you know what happens with this is we have to always be mindful. We have to always be present. We have to always be aware of what we're doing, what we're thinking, how we're being. We have to always be mindful, always be caring, always be open to change. That requires us to constantly practice the presence of God, practice the presence of the only thing that is, practice the presence of that which is integrity itself, that which is whole, that which is undivided, that which cannot be divided. When we are practicing the presence of that, then we can know when we are by ourselves that the way that we're living our lives out there is the way that we are living our lives in here. This is who we really are, the way that we're showing up. It requires us also not to compartmentalize, because we have our work life and we have our personal life and we have our home life and we have our church life and we have our school life and, you know, all those different lives. There's only one. There's only one life. There's only one life. And what we have to do is show up in that one life the same way all the time. Integrity requires us to be, as we're living our lives out there, being the person who's living the life out there that we are in here. Does that make sense? Being the person out there, showing up in the world out there as we are in here, and not having a public face and a private face. Of course, there are ways that we are going to be at home that we aren't in public all the time. But you know what I mean? It's like the way that you see me is the way I am. This is who I am. The way that you see me, the way that you hear me talk, the way that I am, this is the way that I am. This is what we all want to say. This is who I am. I'm not this way out there. And then when I go home and close the door, I'm totally different. I'm talking different. I'm using different language. I'm acting differently. I'm doing things differently. I'm thinking differently. I'm treating people differently, or whatever the case may be. That's out of integrity. And when we are out of integrity, we are separate and separating ourselves from the all that is. Because when we're out of integrity, we aren't in wholeness. And when we're not in wholeness, we are not in alignment with the all that is. And so I'm inviting you to really look at that, to really look at the times that you withhold who you are, the time that you withhold love, the time that you withhold forgiveness. When you withhold forgiveness, is there somebody that you need to forgive right here and right now, this day? Is there somebody that you need to at least develop the willingness to forgive? You may not be able to get there to the forgiveness. You know, forgiveness takes steps sometimes. It takes some time to get there. but being willing to get there, being willing to let go, being willing to not hold a grudge, being willing to not hold resentment, being willing to not judge, being willing to let go and open our hearts. This is how we become, this is how we become architects and builders of the beloved community, and this is how we live in the beloved community. Being willing to forgive, being willing to let go, being willing to say, I release it. I release her, I release him, I let that go. Because so long as I'm holding on to this, my heart is closed. And when my heart is closed, there's no way that I can experience love. There's no way that I can experience integrity. There's no way that I can experience the allness and the fullness of God when my heart is closed. And there's no way that I can live the life that I say that I want to live. There's no way that I can believe the principles that we teach here if I'm not willing to live in integrity, if I'm not willing to forgive, if I'm not willing to release, if I'm not willing to open my heart. And speaking of the principles that we teach here, if we are spouting off spiritual principles, which we love to do, if we're spouting off God is all there is, and we're spouting off there's only one life, there's only one mind, and we're spouting off I know that God is taking care of everything, and then in the next breath worrying about how something's going to happen, or whether there's going to be enough, or worrying about whatever the case may be, that's out of integrity. Because we're spouting off of spiritual principles, but are we living them? Spouting off spiritual principles, but do you believe them? Do you believe that God is all there is? This is a question I ask frequently. Do you believe that God is all there is? Do you believe that God is right here, right now, right where we are? Do you believe that God is in the midst of us right here and right now? And when you are confronted with someone who is unpleasant, do you believe that God, that the allness and the fullness of God is within that person? Do you believe that? As you maybe call them names or whatever the case may be, particularly when you're driving. I've heard people talk a lot, excuse me, recently about driving, and I haven't been driving a lot, so I don't encounter those people on the road who upset other people. But I'm not generally one who gets upset by drivers anyway, because if someone's driving crazy, just let them go. But certainly don't engage my energy with them. Why? Why would we? You know. But if we are, that, you know, each of us is different, and each of, you know, certain things we allow to push our buttons. But if a driver pushes your button and you're yelling and raging and carrying on, and you just got through saying that God is all there is, and that's out of integrity, isn't it? That's inconsistent. Because if God is all there is, God is all there is everywhere. If God is everywhere present, God is in the midst of everything, every situation, every circumstance, every event, every person who's driving down the road. And so for us to be in integrity, in that place of wholeness, in that place of alignment with the all that is, let's bring everything into alignment with the all that is. Let's bring everything, all of the situations in our lives, all the circumstances, all the people, all the issues that need to be dealt with. When there are things that are going on that are really challenging for us, when situations come up that are really, really challenging, there is something that is seeking to be revealed. There's something that's seeking to be birthed through us. There's something that's seeking to be healed in our lives. But it requires us to pay attention to who we are. It requires us to really ask the hard questions. What is it that's seeking to be revealed here? What is it that needs to be healed here? If there's a person that I'm constantly butting heads with, rather than blaming that other person, the first thing for me to do is to look at me. Look at me. Look at me. What is it that is seeking to reveal itself through me? Is it peace? Is it love? Is it forgiveness? What is it that's seeking to be healed? What needs to be healed within me? Because when we look at all the turmoil in the world and all the things that are going on in the world, that seems to be so much unrest and so much chaos, what's seeking to be revealed? What's the spiritual quality underlying all that? Because all the stuff, like the steam rises to the top, all the stuff comes to the top. And there's something that's trying to be birthed. In this world, love is trying to be birthed. In this world, peace is trying to be birthed. In this world, harmony is trying to be birthed. In this world, oneness is trying to be birthed. And it can only happen through each one of us. It only happens through each one of us, as each one of us. And it cannot happen when we are out of integrity and we're determined to hold something against another person. And we're determined to not open our hearts. We're determined to not forgive. We're determined to remember every little thing that somebody else did, or every little lack of integrity that somebody else engaged in, without paying attention to our own, keeping our eye on our own. That's what we're required to do. Integrity also requires us to walk in the direction of our prayer work. It requires us to walk in the direction of our prayer. It requires us to walk in the direction of our prayer. That also means walking the talk. But walk in the direction of your prayer. Are you praying for one thing and then doing something else? Are you praying for harmony? Are you praying for peace? Are you praying for abundance and then complaining constantly that you don't have enough money? Are you praying for prosperity and complaining constantly that there's not enough, or judging or comparing yourself to somebody else, rather than doing the work of aligning with the all that is, aligning with that which is abundance itself, aligning with that which is prosperity itself, aligning with that which is the source of our being? Because anytime there's anything that is unlike our heart's desire, anytime that there's anything that is unlike total provision, which is always available to us, everything's already provided, and if we're not experiencing that, then what do I need to do to move into alignment with that? What do I need to release to move into alignment with that? What do I need to release? What do I need to embrace? We're doing visioning today. Community visioning today. Yeah. But what do I need to embrace? And speaking of visioning, knowing that visioning is a practice of personal transformation. And it doesn't matter what we're visioning for. It doesn't matter what we're visioning for a group. And today we're going to be doing community visioning for Creative Living Fellowship. It doesn't matter, because it's really all about us. Because the only way that we are CLF, the only way that CLF can be all that it can be is through each one of us. So what do I need to release so that CLF can be all that it can be? Through me, to create a space for that. What do I need to embrace so that CLF can be all that it can be through me? And the same for you, and the same for you, and the same for you, and the same for you. And so just keeping that in mind. And then the question of integrity comes up when we look at whether or not we're willing to do that. When we look at whether or not we're willing to change. When we look at whether or not we're willing to do something different. I hear people say constantly, well, I've gone all these years without it. There's no reason for me to do it now. I heard somebody say that a couple of days ago. Like, really? 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 That makes no sense. We still are living in these bodies on this planet. And wouldn't you hate to, my daughter used to say this to me some years ago, when I would say things that I wanted to do, but it's too late now. I can remember saying that to her. And she said, suppose 20 years from now you're still here and you didn't do whatever it was you wanted to do. Wouldn't you feel really bad if 20 years have passed and you could have done it 20 years before then or whatever? Oh, wow, that was a great thing that that she woke me up with. That was a great thing that she woke me up with. So anything that you want to do today and you're holding back on, any forgiveness that you need to do today, and it doesn't matter whether the other person has passed on to the next plane. It doesn't matter, because forgiveness is, And forgiveness happens because it's for you. And so opening your heart and releasing and letting go of anything that you may be holding against any person, that keeps us out of integrity with the all that is, because it closes us off, because we are divided when we are being unforgiving. And so if there's somebody that you need to forgive today, somebody who may have passed on, somebody who may still be on the planet, but not in your life anymore, do that. Start to do that work. Be willing to do that work. Be willing to let go. Be willing to open your heart, because it's really for you. It's not for the other person. It's really for you. That's how we stay in integrity. That's how we live our lives in integrity. Don't do things that make you feel uncomfortable, that you know that's inconsistent with who you are or inconsistent with what you want to do. If you're in a relationship that you just really don't want to be in any longer, is it in integrity for you to stay there? Is that in integrity with yourself? Is it one of those cringeworthy relationships? These are questions for each of us to ask ourselves. These are questions for each of us to ask ourselves. These are questions for each of us to ask ourselves. Where am I? Did I leave home without it today? Did I leave home without it today? And you know what's great? You don't have to run back home to get it. It's not like that card. You don't have to run back home to get it. You can just take a deep breath and open up. If you've made wrong choices and wrong decisions, you can open up and move right into making that right. You can move right into making that right. If you've been dishonest in any way, if you've not told the truth about something, even to yourself, if you've avoided doing something that you know is yours to do, or if you have done something that you know is not yours to do. If that is where you are right now, you don't have to run back to get that integrity. Integrity will inform how you move forward and the decisions that we make. And so when we look at who do you think you are, which is what we were talking about last week, when we look at being yourself, when we look at being all that we were created to be, when we look at living in oneness with the divine and allowing ourselves to be open places and spaces through which the divine can express fully and completely as each one of us. When we look at all these things that we say we want, all these things that we say we believe, then all we need to do is see where we are and choose, because we do have choice, and choose to move back in alignment with the all that is. Choose to stand in integrity. Choose to stand in integrity, which means standing in wholeness. Choose to stand in that place of the undivided. Choose to be all that you were created to be. We have that choice. How powerful is that? Just think about it. How powerful is that? As I'm inviting you just to breathe that in now. Just to breathe that in. Breathing in wholeness. Breathing in integrity. Being all that you were created to be. Standing in the truth that you know. Standing in the truth that you are. No matter what the circumstances, no matter what the situation, no matter who the people involved may be. None of that matters. The important thing is to stand in oneness, to dare to be a part, an architect, a builder of the beloved community. Dare to be a part of the beloved community each and every moment of each and every day. This is our charge today. This is our charge today. Don't leave home without it. If you do, take a breath, welcome it in, allow it through, and say, thank you, God. Thank you, God, for the reminder, because God will give you reminders. I need to let you know about that. You will get those. So let's just take a breath as we turn within in this moment. Just turning within and just allowing ourselves to be fully present right here and right now. How grateful I am to have this opportunity to be right here, right now, in this place with these beloveds, just knowing the truth that God is all there is. Not just some spiritual platitude that I'm saying, but just knowing the truth and standing in the truth that I know, that God is all there is, that there is only one life. That life is my life. That life is the life of each of us here this day. And that life is expressing fully and completely through each one of us according to our own uniqueness and according to the opening through which we allow it to express through each of us. And so how grateful I am for the opportunity to bless each one here this day. To know that we are each made in the image and likeness and out of pure spirit itself. To know that we are always in God's care. We are always in God's care. And to the degree that there's been anything holding us back from being all that we were created to be, holding us back from forgiving, holding us back from practicing integrity in our lives, holding us back from being in oneness with the all that is, those things are released by this word that's being spoken here this day. We release fear and we release doubt and we release any sense of loss of any kind. We release all of that, knowing that God, the great comforter, is right where we are, right in our midst, right here, right now. Knowing that great presence that is closer to us than hands and feet goes before us every moment of every day, making straight our way in all ways and all things, guiding us, directing us, lifting us up, loving us, caring for us, showing us the way. This is what is always happening. And this is the truth that I know for each one of us this day. For each one of us this day, I know that God is. I know that our lives are filled with abundance and prosperity, all needs being met in each and every moment of each and every day. Healing happening in the body temple of each one, no matter what the cause may appear to be. God is first cause, heals all things, makes all things new. And so I'm declaring in this moment that all things are made new in each and every life. This prayer goes out to anyone needing a prayer this day, to the people in California who are affected by the extreme weather conditions, to people anywhere who are affected by anything that is unlike that wholeness that is God, who may be in the path of danger or whatever the case may be. God is in the midst. God is right where each one is. And so I just pause momentarily as I open this circle of prayer so that you may speak the names of anyone you'd like held in prayer this day. You may speak their names silently or loud, and you may speak them now. And so for all those whose names are spoken here this day, I know that all indeed is well, for I know that God is in the midst of everything that they may be experiencing. I include in this circle of prayer Paige, who is not with us today, just knowing that right where she is, God is blessing and keeping her, and that she is completely surrounded by that love and that light of God. Thank you, Father, Mother God, for this time. Thank you, Father, Mother God, for this connection. Thank you, Father, Mother God, for this beloved community. Thank you, Father, Mother God, for everything. For everything. And so it is.
I'm just gonna say yes. There's no use in delaying. I'm tired of the angry hanging out inside me. So I'll quiet down the rebel. I'm gonna knock him with a shovel, and I'll bury all my trouble underneath the rubble. When I'm alone in a dark, dark room, I have to tell myself to I think good thoughts, think good thoughts. Imagine what the world will be if we will just think good thoughts. Stop the bad from feeding. Whoa, won't let the negativity turn me into my enemy. Promise to myself that I won't let it get the best of me. That's how I want to be. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. I'm not saying that it's easy, especially when I'm moody. I might be cursed like a sailor till I remind myself I'm better. 'Cause words can be like weapons. Oh, you use them and regret them. Oh, but I'm not gonna let them take away my heaven. And when I start feeling blue, I remember to tell myself to think good thoughts, think good thoughts. Imagine what the world will be if we will just think good thoughts. Stop the bad from feeding. Whoa, won't let the negativity turn me into my enemy. Promise to myself that I won't let it get the best of me. That's how I want to be. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. I just think of rain on summer nights, stars filling up the sky, sun shining on my face, making a secret wish, finding my happiness that always makes me hold my head up high. Oh, I want to hold my head up high. Oh, 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 I'm gonna think good thoughts, think good thoughts. Imagine what the world will be if we will just think good thoughts. Stop the bad from feeding. Whoa, I won't let the negativity turn me into my enemy. Promise to myself that I won't let it get the best of me. That's how I want to be. Sing with me. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na.
Okay, now, thank you, Kirsten. That was really wonderful. And while we're thinking good thoughts, this is the time for us and our sacred giving time. And I encourage you to join us in experiencing the law of giving and receiving. If you're online, we have created several ways for you to contribute. You can contribute by using the button on our page, our webpage, on Facebook, YouTube, in the comments. And also we have a PayPal account that you can use as well. You can do text to give, and the number is on the screen. For those of you in person, we have ushers who are going to come forward, and then we will sing I Trust in God while they're collecting. Afterwards, we will do the blessings. So come forward now. I'm thankful,
so grateful. I am one in the spirit all around me. I'm thankful, so grateful. I trust in God. I surrender, I surrender. I am one in the spirit all around me. I surrender, I surrender. I trust in God. I am thankful, so grateful. I am one in the spirit all around me. I am thankful, so grateful. I trust in God. I trust in God. I trust in God.
ushers, come forward, please. And let us say our offering blessing. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I circulate. Thank you, God, and so it is. Thank you, Charles and Beverly. And now I'd like to invite Nicole forward for our announcements.
Thank you. Okay, good morning, everybody. Today has been an adventure. I don't even know if you realize it, but it has. So we're just going to keep going with that all day. I really want to make sure that I thank our practitioners and Reverend Jorge today, because things did not happen as expected, but they held the consciousness and it all worked out. So it's great. All right, so those announcements. So a reminder that we offer midday meditation Monday through Friday at noon on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. And also next Sunday, we are restarting our pre-service meditation. So meditation is going to start at 9:30 a.m. in person and on live stream. And if you get here even like maybe 5-10 minutes earlier than that, you can also do our pray-in that we do every morning. And we mustn't forget Monday practice with Reverend Jorge at 6:30 p.m. every Monday, again through Facebook and YouTube live streams. Get your homework for the week. Be there. Our community care and connection meeting with Reverend Sherry is every Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. in Zoom. This week, Reverend Sherry is going to be doing conscious conversation. And again, this is a very intimate time to get to know each other on a much deeper level than we get to do in person here on Sundays and at the fellowship. So join us on Tuesday evening. Just wanted to make sure I was in alignment with the slides. You never know. The Ernest Holmes, I'm the one that makes the slides and the announcements, but you never know if I throw myself for a loop. The Ernest Holmes book study started up yesterday. Wow. A Holmes reader on practical wisdom is what they're reading and studying. And this is a drop-in group. So you can get your copy today. If you haven't already got it, it's on Science of Mind Archives, and you can it's like a couple bucks, download it as a PDF and read about 2/3 of it. And then join him on Saturday from 10 a.m. to noon. So we've been asking since we got together if you guys were interested in doing quantum chair yoga with Reverend Christopher, and 10 of you signed up and said yes. So guess what? It's coming up. Quantum chair yoga. What is it? It's creating self-mastery through the yoga of awareness that transcends that limiting, difficult, twisty, bendy, gumby yoga. So you don't have to worry about I can't touch my toes. You don't have to worry about touching your toes for that. Join Reverend Christopher as he guides us through multiple full series of practices that open and balance chakras. The effects of these practices are that they that blood chemistry changes, glands secrete, and the brain activates neuroplasticity. Have you ever heard of growth mindset? Because that activates that, a flexibility of thinking and coping and being in charge of your moods. This is a rewiring for optimum performance, memory recall, I need that, and desired behavioral changes. Maybe. Through this self-efficacy, a feeling of peace is acquired. This is your true self. And we need a minimum of 8 people to pre-register. So 10 of you already said you were interested. We should be there. This is an online registration. It's $25 per person. And you can find the links in our email, our weekly newsletter email, on Facebook or our website. I didn't say when it was. Sunday, January 29th at 11:45 a.m. Okay, thank you. Oh, and she already said it. So if you were listening, today is our community visioning. So join us at 11:30. Give us a little time to set up, or you can help us set up. That would be greatly appreciated. And so after service, take a quick break, get ready, and then join us for this sacred practice to catch God's vision for Creative Living Fellowship. After service, we have our practitioners available to pray with you. So we have Reverend Mary Jane Hyde, and we have practitioner emeritus Carrie Sherman, and our animal chaplain, Fran Peck here. So go ahead and see them after service. And again, I probably need a moment of prayer with you. Thank you for holding the consciousness for me today. And then also on the table out front, on our welcome table, we have a prayer box. So you can go ahead and fill out the form and put it in there, and our practitioners will pray on that for 30 days. And then if you want fellowship, that will be after the visioning today, correct? Yep. So, and Reverend Sherry's going to be there. And then let's think that's it. So yeah, information, links, all of that can be found in your weekly newsletter on the website and in Facebook, and 2 other announcements. So we're closed tomorrow in observance of Martin Luther King Jr. Day. I know it's sad for you. But we'll be back on Tuesday. And then also, if you guys want to volunteer for anything, please come see us. There's also a sign-up sheet in the back. We're always open to having people help with the offering. Thank you again, Beverly and Charles. Greeters, helping with the PowerPoint, or even with our events. So please just sign up and we'll reach out to you, because we want to provide the opportunity for you to be active in the community, right? And that happens through service. And that's it for me. Just let me clean this for you.
Thank you, Nicole. Yay, give her a hand. She does such a great job doing so many things. Jill of all trades, she and Deb, and of course, Reverend Jorge. So I appreciate them also very, very much. And I understand there was a lot of change here today, and we managed it. So that's always good. Change is always happening. And what we know is we stay connected to the changeless. So let's take a breath together. As Nicole said, we have community visioning today, and I invite you all to join us after service for the community visioning, so that we can be open and available to catch God's vision for Creative Living Fellowship. That's what we're about, catching the vision for Creative Living Fellowship. We're beginning again, and God has a vision for what Creative Living Fellowship looks like. And it can only happen through each one of us, as I said earlier. So I invite you to join us at 11:30. And I also just would like to just reiterate a couple of things that Nicole mentioned in the announcements, is that we have been constantly providing opportunities for spiritual practice for the community. The midday meditation happens every day, Monday through Friday, from noon to 12:30. And I invite you to tune in, because that's a way to get your spiritual practice on and to get into the habit of meditating. And you can go back to the Facebook page later and watch it if you miss it live. Also, Monday practice with Reverend Jorge is awesome. It is really an awesome time, 6:30 to 7 o'clock, half an hour. on Monday evenings, and he does all kinds of practices, and it's something that I don't like to miss at all because it gives me a chance to practice things that I haven't done before. And last week he did an exercise that I thought, oh my gosh, I have forgotten about that. I haven't done that in years. And it was exactly what I needed at that time. So I invite you to Monday evenings, do Monday practice with Reverend Jorge. This is how we become a part of the community. This is how we become a community again, because we have been apart for so long. Also, as she said about Tuesday Connection, we're doing that. And I'd like to stress the Ernest Holmes book study. The purpose of starting the book study, the Ernest Holmes book study, was so that we could dive deeper into the Ernest Holmes writings by using the little Ernest Holmes books, because you know the textbook is, well, you see it down here, how big it is and how dense it is and how thick it is, and it really it's a lot to digest sometimes. But using the little books, the book that we're using right now, the Practical Wisdom, the Reader on Practical Wisdom, is 22 pages. So we get a chance to really dive deep into it, and it's still the writings and the teachings of Ernest Holmes that we get a chance to focus on the little stuff. So I invite you to join us for that on Saturday mornings from 10 to 12. And of course, connecting with each other is something that I always encourage you to do because we are community. If you have friends who you'd like to bring to church sometimes, bring a friend with you. Bring a friend on a Sunday. Invite a friend to come. And inviting people to come and just to check us out and be here with us on Sunday mornings. I think that's all I have. I'm sorry? Don't forget the treatment for supply. Thank you, Fran. That's a practitioner for you. The treatment for supply, that's our community prayer. We used to use it every Sunday at the close of service, and we haven't been doing that since we've been back together. But you can still use it at home every day. It's on page 262 of the Science of Mind textbook, and it is awesome because it works for everything. So use all the tools that we have so that we can just continue to move forward and live the lives that we were created to live. Thank you all for being here. I love you all so much. It's so good to see you. Why don't we stand and say our closing affirmation? Take a breath. I dare to live in integrity. I dare to be all that I was created to be. I dare to be open. I dare to be honest. I dare to be truthful. I dare to be forgiving. I dare to be loving in my heart. As a result, something wonderful is happening in my life right now. Say that again. Something wonderful is happening in my life right now. I know it. I sense it. I feel it. And I thank God for it. And so it is. And now we're going to have our closing song. I release and let go.
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. It's the Spirit of my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. The Spirit from my life. Oh, in my heart is open wide. I'm only here for God.